Well, on the positive side, we're in a shelter. Oh yeah, except for the, Bullfrog's food is outside on the table. I think we all slept incredibly well last night. I did anyway. I laid down and I went straight to sleep. And it was awesome. And we have about an 8-mile day today, which means we are in absolutely zero rush to get out in this mess. But we're fixing our breakfast and rolling up our stuff so that if we do get a break, we can go for it. But we'll see how the day goes. But we don't have far to go. And I think this is supposed to be just kind of a spotty rain shower day today. Maybe burning off by the afternoon. We'll have to see.
I think tomorrow I'll be glad I had it.
This is what it looks like inside the shelter when it's raining. And we're trying to get our stuff together. This Bullfrog making water.
In my skirt.
In his rain skirt, yes. Angel's trying to stay warm. Warmth is very important to Angel. Thankfully, we've got 8 miles to go, and in theory, that should be 4 hours of hard hiking today. And we'll settle in and get warm and dry again. And hopefully this mess will blow over before we have to get up and go into town tomorrow. But at least that's the working plan right now. So we'll see how it goes. Probably not going to stop and take a lot of videos today, so this might be a combined video with tomorrow. But as I mentioned yesterday, I am really interested to see how this trail goes, because we all thought it was really, really hard a couple of years ago when we were out here. But now that we've got about 450 or so miles under our belt, I think it's probably going to be just a walk in the park. Or at least that's my working plan right now. We came in from this way. We're going to be going up over this hill, and then I think we flatten out. Oh, and there's googly eyes. I forgot to take a picture of the googly eyes for Beth. Okay, we'll see you up the trail. Okay, this is absolutely awesome. This is some canopy set up here on 321 as the trail crosses the road. They are a class of 2014 thru hikers. 5 of them get together annually and throw out this trail magic to hikers coming through. And we happen to be the lucky hikers this time. So this is awesome, and we appreciate it. And I look forward to being able to do this very same thing, because the gentleman I spoke to is from Ohio, and I don't live nearly that far away. So I could do this a couple of times in the season and just have a blast. So we're looking forward to this. So thank you guys for having us, and we hope we can pay it forward soon. Well, I haven't been able to video much today because it's been raining. I think the rain has passed. The wind has not. But as I mentioned yesterday, I've really been looking forward to this section of trail because we all thought it was so hard. I was really mad when I got home from when we came up here before, because I had picked the flattest part of the trail I could find for us to hike on for Corey and Corey's first trip on the trail. Emily had been here before. Beth and Griffin and Gavin had been on the trail before, and the section that we did was harder. But I was really trying to shoot for something. Oh, there's a bird. Is that a robin? Can't really tell. It doesn't look like a robin. It's got little white splotches on its wings. I don't know what that is. Can you see it? It's hopping around down there. I guess it's a robin. I don't know. I have to do some looking when I get home. Anyway, my nose is running because the wind's blowing hard and it's kind of cold. But anyway, we had picked what we thought was the flattest section of trail possible for us to do, and we all thought it was just hard. When we got home, man, that was tough. There were climbs everywhere, and so far today, we've been over 2 or 3 small uphills that, they slowed me down a little bit, but they didn't wind me. And I guess that's the difference that having 450 miles under my feet makes, because this has not been taxing very much at all. And we're hoping to make it to our shelter. We had about 5 miles from the trail magic back there at 321. We had about 5 miles to go to the shelter, and we were thinking, well, we can do 2.5s. That'll be 2 hours of good hiking, and I think that's going to be pretty close to accurate because we're definitely moving pretty quickly. Gavin's a little behind me, but he's moving quickly too, and Angel and Bullfrog are back there as well. Snow Cream went on ahead. He got to the Trail Magic before we did, so he pulled out a little quicker. And hopefully we'll meet all up at the Abingdon shelter here in a little while. But so far, I can report in on this section as being one of the most benign sections that we've covered so far on the whole AT for the last day or so. And I think we're going to be downhill all the way into Damascus tomorrow. So it would be a good starter section. Now, even though it was a starter section for us a while back, a couple of years ago, it wasn't too hard. We just all thought we had to stop a lot, but that's because we weren't accustomed to carrying weight on our backs. And there's a whole lot of reasons why we would have thought it would be tough. But this is a pretty nice little section. Not a lot of views, but it's a nice walk. And one of the things that I remember when we came through this section before was this rock wall. It's called out in all the guides. Don't really know what it's all about. I don't know whether these are rocks that surely not rocks that they pulled off the trail. But anyway, this rock wall that we walk up beside here for a little ways was mentioned, and I remember that from coming here before. We're not going to be too terribly far from coming to the campsite where we stayed. And we got it uphill, holy cow. Maybe this is what I remember being really hard. We'll go up it slowly, and I don't think I'm going to have to slow down too much. It's not a very big one. But, this uphill really doesn't hold a candle to the sustained miles-long uphills that we've traversed as we've come from Georgia. So even though this may win me a little bit, it's not going to be anything to hold a candle to some of the stuff that we've done. Alrighty, I am coming down the hill into Big Branch Campsite. I think that's the name of it. I didn't look it up, but I recognize it because this is where we stayed when we came out on this section a few years ago. And I do remember it well. I remember that there's a few tent sites that gather water. I remember that there's no water here. And I remember that hanging a bear line was a giant pain trying to find the right tree. We wound up eagle hanging it over the trail. But this is where we stayed. I remember making supper, sitting right over here. And I had my pack hanging on that tree right there. Emily was between that tree and that tree over there. Beth and I were about right there. Corey was in that flat spot right over there. That's the spot that gathers water. Seems like Griffin was maybe around this way, and maybe Gavin was over there somewhere. But boy, I remember this like it was just yesterday. I remember sitting on this log right here, making supper, thinking, "Oh my gosh, I'm so tired, and I'm not sure I can even do this." And we hadn't walked but about 6 or 7 miles. It's amazing how much different you feel when you've got you've got 450 miles on your legs, because I don't feel tired at all right now. I'm just kind of bouncing right along. Somebody's left their bear line here. That looks awfully heavy. Wonder if I should pack that out. So there comes Angel. She's next in line. Just explaining to my YouTube audience, this is where we stayed a couple of summers ago. Yeah, Beth and I slept right there. Corey slept in that little wet spot right there. And Emily was between those two big trees, and then Griffin was between those two little ones, and then Gavin was somewhere back in there. But yeah, I remember this site very well. So this is as far as I've gone on this section, and I have to report in that while we have done a few uphills, there is nothing that has strained me like it did a couple of years ago when I came out here. So anyway, we'll plow forward. I don't know if you can see Angel up there, but it kind of gives you, well, she's behind the tree now, the one with the white blaze on it. Kind of gives you an idea of what we're dealing with for weather today. It's not actively raining at the moment, thankfully, but it is kind of foggy and hazy up above. If I go around this tree, there you go. You can see her moving around up there. We are closing in probably on a mile to go to our shelter. We've got an incredibly short day today, 8.6 from one shelter to the next. Now the wind's blowing the haze off. But that leaves us 10 to go into Damascus tomorrow. And we're going to hold up there for the next 2 nights. Get dry, get warm, get fed, get showered, get laundry done, resupply, and probably see some folks we know, because I think that the youth group from our church is coming up. I think some of the scouts may be coming up. See how it goes, but we're looking forward to being in Damascus. Well, this is the Abingdon Gap shelter, and this is what it looks like in the rain. And this is what it looks like when a bunch of hikers come in and explode in the rain. We've got a clothesline stretched back and forth twice across, and we've got about everything that we've got hanging up trying to dry it. But it's so doggone wet out here. Windy, maybe the wind will blow it dry a little bit, but it's certainly not going to get any heat today right now. We'll see what happens. But we made a pretty good trip today. We did a little over 8 miles in about 4 hours, and we had some awesome trail magic. There's the trail to the water back there. The trail guide says that you have to descend into the depths of Mordor to get water, which means I guess it's a really steep downhill. But we got some real pretty area right out here in front of the shelter. If just if the storm would blow over and it would sunny up, man, it would be awesome right here. We would sit here and we're going to sit here and relax and enjoy the afternoon one way or the other, whether we're in the sleeping bags or not. But that's the direction we came from. And we have about 10 miles to go into Damascus, and we're looking forward to being in town for the next couple of days. We think we're going to have some friends come up to visit us, and that'll be pretty awesome. So it's going to be a great day. We got our hiking done really early. We got here right at 1 o'clock. And you know, truth be told, I think if the weather were a little bit better, I think we all felt like we could probably push on into Damascus, which is another 10. But you know, there's no sense in going out in the rain. We were kind of cold and wet, miserable. So anyway, we're going to settle in here for the evening. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on that. Is it going to let me do that? That's a big knot in that tree right there. But anyway, we're going to settle in and rest and relax and eat and be at peace, and then we'll get up early in the morning and hike on into town.